No agenda. And I don't like, we're not learning old stuff. We're learning now, present. I want to contrast, and I want to see the, so I remember I had like 4 caches. I remember caches, but I don't like, I'm not trying to remember yesterday's caches. I want today and figure out we're capable of learning Torah. I want to contrast Avram and Lot. In this week's Parshas Vayeira, they both do Achnasas Archim. They both greet guests. Their differences, Chazal point out the differences, and I want to study both. So if we're going to go back and forth, if you first look, when Avram Avinu has guests in page 45, the beginning of the parsha, he says to them in Pasuk Daled, Yukach na mat mayim, he offers them some water, Rachzu raglechem, you'll wash your feet, Vishanu tachaseitz, and then you'll rest a little bit. He offers them a bed. Before you, it's interesting, before you might be tired, take a little water, you'll wash your feet, and you'll Vishanu tachaseitz, and you'll sleep a little bit, get a little nap. You're tired, you're not so hungry yet. First, relax, you'll drink a little, wash your feet. That's what Avram Avinu says. If we look at Rashi, Rashi says on the Yukach na, Al Yedei Shliach, Rashi brings, we're going to skip that. V'rachzu raglechem. The second Rashi says, wash your feet. Kizbar, he thought, Shehem Arabiyim, he thought they were Arabs. Shemishtachvim lavak ragleim, who bow to the dirt of their feet. There's a lot written in Svarim about that. What does it mean Arabs bow to the dirt of their feet? I promise they're big things, what that means. Nothing's weird in the Torah. It's saying something. What does that mean, somebody bows to the dirt of their feet? But nonetheless, it says they're Arabs who bow to the dirt of their feet. The hekbid, Avram Avinu was makbid. How do you say in English, akpeda? He insisted. Avram Avinu insisted. Shloi lahachnis avodah zarah. Basically, you're not bringing avodah zarah to my house. So that's what Avram Avinu said. Take a little water, v'rachzu raglechem, and you'll wash your feet. His point, you'll wash your feet. He's not coming to my house to avodah zarah. They worship the dirt of their feet. Before you walk in here, you're washing your feet, buddy. Now, what that means, they worship their feet. Maybe over Shabbos we'll talk about. There's beautiful pshatim. But he says to them, before you walk into my house, you're washing your feet. Avram is makbid. Now Rashi brings, right off the bat, light, aber light shalai hikbid. Light wasn't makbid. Hikdim lina l'rchitza. Light first says you'll sleep, and then you'll wash. Shenemar v'linu, you'll sleep by me. V'rachzu agleichem, and then you'll wash your feet. So light wasn't makbid that they don't come in without avodah zarah. Avram Avinu had a frumkeit that his Talmud, a nephew Light didn't have. Avram Avinu says, "Yukach no matnaim v'rachzu." Take some water and wash your feet. You ain't coming in my house with the dirt on your feet. Avodah zarah, they worship that. So he said, "You're washing that." There's standards here. Light first says sleep and then says wash your feet. He wasn't makbid on this. So that's a difference Rashi points out right here. If you please fast forward, if everybody could look, let's skip to page 48. Page 48, so angels come to Light. Light's living in Stein. We'll start Pasuk Al. Vayavo Shnei HaMalachim. The 2 angels came Stein after Stein, Be'erev in the evening. The Light Yoshev B'shar Sedaim. Light sitting in Sedaim. Vayar Light sees these guests. Vayaretz Vayakum L'krasam. He gets up towards them. Vayishtach V'payim, and he bows to his guests. Vayomer Hinei na Adonai. He says, "Please, my master." I like Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu also calls them my master. I've said this before, the Torah is not like cute. The Torah, every word is emes. Light says, my masters teaches you about his type of chesed, the same brand chesed Avram. There's like chesed to Nebuchs. Yen and Nebuch be good too. That's not the chesed of Avram. Avram Avinu saw beauty and specialness in people, and it's a chus to serve you. So Avram calls them Adonai, my master, and Light does the same thing. Hine na Adonai, please, my master. What?
Not disrespect.
That's a good question. He says, how can you call them Hashem? The answer is the biggest respect to Hashem is we respect another person because they're Tzelem Elokim. You see the godliness in him. Each person is a Chelek Elokam Imal Mamish, and the respecting a person is the deepest respect to Hashem. Even calling a person that name, because you see the soul, you're like, even a guy has a soul, not like a Yiddish Neshama. Yiddish Neshama is different. A guy has a soul too, but not a Yiddish Neshama. Yiddish Neshama is from a different part. Nishmas Noiga, there are other Neshamas. A Yid has a different type of Neshama. The Kitzer is, so he says, Hine na Adonai, Suru nal beis avchem, please turn to your Evet's house, come to my house. Vilinu, you'll sleep. Virachzu raglechem, and then you'll wash your feet. Vishkamtem, you'll get up. Halachtem l'darkem, you'll go on your way. So by light, he first says sleep, then wash up. Avram Avinu said first wash up, then vishanu, you'll sleep. It's interesting. One says linu, one says ishanu. They have different lashonos. By light, he first says sleep and then wash up. By Avram Avinu, first says wash up, then sleep. Said Rashi, at the beginning of the parasha, Avram was makbid. You're not walking into my house with your dirty feet because they worship the dirt of their feet. So Avram Avinu said, you're not bringing Avodah Zarah into my house. And Light said, sleep first, you'll wash later. He wasn't so careful with that.
Were the guests aware that the reason he asked to wash their feet was Avodah Zarah?
L'chayra. L'chayra. But I want to analyze that. L'chayra.
Who says that Lot thought they were Arabs?
What?
Who says that Lot also thought that they were?
Rashi says he wasn't makbid. He says they were. Rashi says Avram was makbid like hikbid. Sounds like he had the same appearance of who they were. Now look at Rashi
They still
here.
had them do it.
But after they sleep, they could be in the house first. Now, Moyo
why
says
do
he
it?
still was makbid to wash up. He just said you could be in my house first. It's not a Tanai and entering. Look at Rashi.
Oh, then why do it at all? That's just what I'm pointing.
So let's see Rashi. Moyo asks Shaila, when he said wash up, was that also because of Avodah Zarah? You can come in my house, just eventually get rid of Avodah Zarah. That's Moyo Shaila. Or is this washing up nothing to do with Avodah Zarah? According to this, come into my house. Later on, you could take a shower. People like cleaning first. I always think when guests come, part of Achnasa Sarchim, you're thinking about the guests. They're offering them sleep is to show them a facility. People come. People drive to the yeshiva. If a mother or lady drives, it's a boy's place. You showed people. It's a little bit embarrassing to ask. Basic Achnas Sarchim is to show to a facility. That's a basic Achnas Sarchim. I'll tell you a good mice of Achnas Sarchim for a second. Then I want to get to the Rashis. I brought a bacher years ago to Mountaindale Yeshiva. Now there is a yeshiva whose grandson is in our yeshiva. The Rosh Yeshiva of Mountaindale was a Yid Rav Rothenberg. He was a beautiful Yid. He was a Division I basketball player. I know they say on every Rebbe, he was the best ever. It's just a bunch of hogwash. He was Division I. I saw him play. He was a Division I basketball player. He became a Baal Tshuva. Rav Rothenberg was a beautiful Yid, like a crazy. He raised a lot of money for tzedakah. He was a very unusual tzaddik. He was a great ball player. He had a little yeshiva in Mountaindale. 23 years ago, I brought a bracha to Mountaindale. Now, to him, I'm just a Lakewood guy. I never lived in Lakewood. I'm not a Lakewood. My wife's a Lakewood. But I looked like I had a hat on. I brought a bracha. It was a yeshiva-type place, but I brought a bracha for an interview. I bring the bracha to Mountaindale. It's a little upstate place. And I had my hat and jacket. I bring the bracha, and he's going to interview the bracha. So he says, come with me. Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Rothenberg. And he brought me to the gym, got me a basketball, and said, you can play some ball for a while. Blew me away. Here, like the normal thing is, you see like another yeshivish guy, you show him the Beis Medrash if you want to learn. There was such a humility. He brought me to the gym, got me a basketball, and said, if you want to shoot around a little bit. I looked like a yeshivish guy. Like, it was so normal. It was so nice. It was such achnasa sarchim. He's not like saying, "Here, go learn." You can shoot around a little, have a nice time, like a Joyce. It was so touching and comfortable and sweet. Amazing, Yid Rebbe Rothenberg. Isn't that a nice story, Avi? True
I feel
story.
like every Rebbe has a story, just like a different version, no?
Of what?
Like, oh, I wanted to interview with like a kid, and the version he showed me the gym to show like the gym's still important also.
Isn't that
I feel like
cool?
I heard the story from already.
Could be. If anybody went to Rothenberg, probably got shown the gym. I was very touched, Avi, because it's not like it's very humble to show a gym, to take a guy who comes to the gym. If he wants to learn, he could learn, but he was like, there was something comfortable and natural, and I was pretty amazed. But anyway, back here. Back here is, if you look at Rashi, V'linu v'rachsu raglechem. You see the Rashi? V'linu v'rachsu, you see the Rashi, Aval, of V'linu v'rachsu raglechem? The second column, where light says sleep and wash your feet. Says Rashi, V'chi darken shal b'nei adam lolun tchil v'achach lirchitz. Yes, Rashi, Akasha, sleep, then take a shower? It's not the derech. People first wash up, then go to sleep. You don't go to sleep dirty. Why did light say sleep, then wash up? That's not normal. First you wash up, then you go to sleep. They're coming, they're all dirty from the trip. And light says sleep, then you wash up. Linu v'rachzu raglechem, sleep and you wash up. Why didn't he say wash, then you'll sleep? Rashi asks the second kasha. Yeah, it's almost like, I like it, keep on the dirt, please. Why do you tell them that? It's bizarre. First you wash up, it's just normal to first wash up. That's what Rashi is. It's normal to first wash up. So why didn't he say, why did he say linu v'rachzu raglechem? That's not normal. That's Rashi's kasha 1. V'oid, a second kasha Rashi is, Shari Avram Amar Lem Tchila Rachsu Aglechem. Avram said first to wash your feet. It's funny, so Rashi has two kashas. First, Rashi asks from the norm. The norm is to wash up first, then go to sleep. You don't sleep dirty and then wash up. And secondly, it's not what Avram did. Avram Avinu first said wash up, then sleep. So what's light doing? Two kashas.
I don't understand. Is light from or not? I'm saying.
Avram's nephew. It's tricky what light is. He moved to Stein, but he did learn Achnasa Sarchim from Avram. That was his Rebbe. So we're trying to figure out what he did. The Torah is light from is what we're studying today. But our like maskanas, we're going to decide how from or not from he is. But here, Avram Avinu, he has two kashas. Light says sleep, then wash up. Kasha 1, it's not normal. People wash up before they go to sleep. Kasha 2 is that's not what Avram did. Ela kach amar light. Says Rashi, so light said, Im kisheyavo anshe stain v'yiru shvarachsu aglechem. If you wash up first, and the stain people see you, yalilu alai, they're going to have tainas on me, v'yoymu kfar avru shnei yom shloisha bo lebeischa, v'layditanu, you didn't tell us, remember in Sodom, you're not let a host guess. So if you're washed up, light says to his guests, they're going to see you all washed up. They're going to assume you were here for a while. Lefika. Amar light said to them, Mutav she'isakfu kam ba'avak ragleim. Stay dirty. It's better. She'yu nir k'mashubo ashav. It should look like you just came. Whenever they see you, the Anshe Staim are going to show up and be very nervous that I had guests. So don't wash up. This way, lefikach amar linu tchila. Stay here first, v'achkach rachzu. Then delay washing as much as possible. I want them to see you dirty. It looks like you just came. It wasn't. I didn't host them. Huh? Because they get in Sodom, it's illegal to host guests. So he said it's a good eitzah. Said light. It's a very good eitzah to first sleep. Keep the dirt on your feet. And then afterwards wash up. That's what Rashi brings.
So
and then leave my house so I'm not in danger. That's his husband. But if someone comes to my house and sees you all nice and clean.
So then it looks like I hosted you. Stay dirty. So whenever they come, I'm like, they just came. I didn't host them. That's what he's done. Now it's a little interesting. He did say to wash later. He said you'll sleep, then you'll wash it. So according to that, they should never wash. So I don't know why he says rachz ragleichem later, but at least he's saying stay as dirty for as long as possible. That was Light's cheshbon.
Is this bechuch? Now I'm confused what's happening because I'm saying in the second, Parashas not doing that.
So there's a few things I want to figure out. I want to learn Torah with the Chevra. I want to rewind for a second. Avram Avinu says, wash your feet and then go to sleep. And Rashi brings a chazal that Avram Avinu was makbid. Rashi right off the bat says, wash your feet and go to sleep. Says Rashi, Avram Avinu's makbid. They were Arabs, and he's makbid. They shouldn't bring avodah zarah. Now I have a kasha on Rashi. Who said Avram Avinu was makbid? It's just normal to wash. Rashi brings a chazal. Avram Avinu says, wash your feet and then go to sleep. Says Rashi was makbid. They shouldn't bring avodah zarah. How does Rashi know that? Maybe that's just normal. The normal thing is to wash up before you go to sleep. So why does Rashi say that Avram Avinu was makbid not to bring avodah zarah into the house? That's not pshat. He said wash up and then go to sleep because that's normal. And Rashi later on says that's normal. Now I want to explain something. When Rashi brings this, Rashi's quoting a chazal that Avram Avinu was makbid not to bring avodah zarah. But I want to tell you a rule in Rashi. Rashi only brings a chazal to address a kasha. Rashi explains the psukim kipshutai. Every once in a while Rashi brings a medrash. Rashi just thought, hey, I want to share a nice medrash for you. Rashi will always bring a medrash. The Sifsei Chum holds this way. I have a friend of the family. His name's Chesed Chayat. Chesed Chayat is a goyin b'Torah. He was in Columbia. He was valedictorian, spoke at graduation. He's a goyin. And he's a Talmud. He's a Talmud Muvak of my father. He argues, and Sifsei Chacham is an Achron. Sifsei Chacham holds that any Rashi in the Torah quotes a medrash, he's addressing something that's shver and pshat. Something's off in pshat, and he quotes the medrash to answer pshat. That's what Sifsei Chacham. My friend Rav Chesed Chayat disagrees. He has many kashas. There are good kashas. Before I came back from Eretz Yisrael, I spent a year and I learned Chumash Rashi all day. I learned a lot of hours Chumash Rashi, and I was like studying Rashi. Well, there are a lot of Rashis that it's hard to figure out why he quoted the Medrash. Chesed Chayad holds there are other cheshbonis. It's not always to answer. But the Sifsei Chachamim could show you every Medrash, how he's answering a Kashem Pshat. Here, in the beginning of the Parshas, Avram Avinu says to his guests, take water, wash up, and you'll sleep. Comes Rashi, says Avram Avinu was makbid not to avodah zarah in his house. I have a kasha, because later in the parasha, when light first says sleep and wash up, Rashi asks, that's not normal. What's the norm? To first wash up, then sleep. So why did Rashi say here, when Avram Avinu did the norm, why would Rashi say Avram Avinu is makbid not to bring avodah zarah in the house? How do you see that Avram Avinu was just doing the norm? What's Rashi coming off? He quotes, and that's a medrash. But what's in pshat in the pasuk? What was shver? That Rashi went to that medrash. There's nothing shver. Avram Avinu says, wash up and sleep. Gishmak. And the normal thing to do is wash up and sleep. And he says, so what's happening here? What was Rashi addressing? That Avram Avinu's makbid not to have avodah zarah in the house. You don't see that. From where do you see that in the psukim? Now, I admit Chazal say it, but Rashi brings Chazal because the psukim there's something that the pasuk points to Chazal. Rashi's addressing a kasha. In the first psukim, Avram Avinu just did the absolute normal thing. Take water and then sleep. And that's normal. Wash up and sleep. In matter of fact, when light does the opposite, Rashi jumps. That's not normal. Sleep, then wash up. So Rashi says a whole shtickle Torah. Light said to them, stay dirty. Please stay dirty. If you clean up, Staymites are going to come. They're going to say, I'm hosting you. Stay dirty. If they show up to my house, I'll say, I didn't host them yet. I didn't know. Look, they're dirty. You see, I didn't. They didn't get comfortable here. I knew the rules of Sdaim. I never made them comfortable. Why is Rashi in the first Rashi say, that's my first kasha. The next question I want to ask,
who said he was telling them to wash his feet because they were different? You don't. When someone comes to your house, you don't tell them. I mean, who said their feet were like mud?
They're
they
traveled.
Were mud dirty.
They're traveled.
Like, they wash them because they had come on.
But it's the normal. You're saying because the Chazal, the normal things they come from the thing. Rashi said it's normal. Rashi says the derech is Chidark Shabbat to first sleep and then wash. The derech is
It's a whole different.
So Yehuda said good pshat. Yehuda says by light it says sleep then wash. By Avram Avinu, it says wash, then rest. So Yehuda's bothered before you rest. You don't have to wash. Rest, then you are the resting. It's funny by Lloyd, he's giving them refuge for the night. So he says sleep. Linu means to sleep and wash. And Rashi is bothered by you take a shower before you go to sleep. On Avram Avinu, it says take some water, wash, and you'll rest. Hishanu tachas, you'll rest a little. So maybe by Avram Avinu, why is he saying wash already? Let them rest first. I would just say the same way it's normal to wash before you sleep. It's probably normal to wash before you rest also.
No, you come back a 4-hour trip. You want to chill for a second. You don't run into the shower. You say, okay, wash. You're like, chill. I want to chill for a minute.
So that's the kash. Rashi's bothered by just to rest. On light where they slept.
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
under the tree also
You don't
sounds
Spend the
good.
night. He's telling you to spend
Here,
the night.
where
and
it's
then
just
you'll
resting,
shower
why
in
do you
the
say
morning.
Nice shot. What are you saying?
I was thinking that if it's very normal to just do that, then I think if anything it's opposite. Why would he have to say it? Meaning, if it's very normal, then he shouldn't have to say it. That's what they're gonna do. Now he's saying it because what if they don't? What if they're not down? So now he's making
So I
sure
want to
he's
say
not
something.
gonna
just
be
showing him the
Shlomo
shower,
and
not
Avi
put
was
him on
saying
the
this.
He's just showing
I
him the
saw
shower.
in Paiskim that you don't say to your guests to go wash. After Kiddush, people are sitting there. Lamai said right after Kiddush, you're supposed to wash as quickly as possible. Because Kiddush b'makom Suda. The Kiddush be right into the Suda. I saw in Paiskim not to say to guests to wash. Come, Chaver, wash. I saw it's insulting. You don't tell people to wash. You're saying I'm dirty? So I saw you should say, Chaver, let's go to the kitchen. What I do in my house, I just wash myself and people see. I don't want to say it's not derech eretz. Derech eretz is very important. How you talk is important. Very
You say,
important.
let's eat?
So you say, Chaver, let's eat, let's have bread. Don't say to people wash. You're saying, very important how you talk.
order. He's giving them
Talk
order.
is hamachshava haylach achar deeper. Talk is. You say, I just mean to talk like a mensch. You don't say to somebody. You see, big people are very careful. My father is. I never heard my father. This is big levels, and everybody's different. My father never in my house would ever say the word for chazer, the English word, ever. Read a book, he'd say chazer. He didn't want to say the English word for that. He felt like my father's very careful with speech. Never swear words. If we said shut up as kids, woo, blah, blah, blah. He was very careful with speech. But speech is dignified. You don't say to somebody, come wash. Let's wash. Excuse me, I'm not dirty. It's like, so you could say, let's eat bread, says Amen, let's have bread. You don't say, Yehuda wouldn't say, let's come wash it. You're saying a guy to wash. So that's what Avi and Shlomo said. Avram Avinu, of course it's normal to wash before, but what's he saying wash? So bizarre.
And on the
He's saying, wash
chance
your
that
feet.
they're not down.
What's like, you saying I'm dirty? Now what should he have said? Could be, remember, it's funny, he says, you take a little water. Wink, he put water and they'll wash. He said wash is the kasha, and that's how Rashi brings Chazal. He was insisting, I'm sorry, you're washing. Normally you don't say wash, but he's not having a desire in his house. Now if they're right, I wonder that Light, who said sleep then wash, was not mak, but they don't come in. But why did he say wash? Again, Light also wanted, because the avodah zarah, he just said don't wash right away. There's a cheshbon, delay it as long as possible. So when Rashi brought the Chazal that Avram Avinu didn't want to buy the Zar in his house, he's bothered, but you don't tell guests to wash. You give them, you allow it if you want. Here's some water. You don't tell, you show somebody, you don't tell somebody, you show, here's the facility. There's a way to do things.
So like light in a sense was nicer because he was saying like you could sleep if you want, and if you want you could go wash, whatever. Like he wasn't like necessarily telling to sleep.
But he does say wash. Light
says
does
wash
say, he
afterwards.
says, Linu v'rachzok lechem, wash your feet. He just was, and the same kash on Light. Why did Light? They both did something where you don't tell guests to wash, and both of them, the answer is, they were makbid by the Zara. Avram Avinu was makbid, you're not coming to my house till you do it. Light was Light hikbid, because he had a cheshbon. Now a little bit I'm bothered by, the first Rashi says Light wasn't makbid. Rashi says, the first Rashi says Light said sleep then. The first Rashi says, let me just get that, Light shaloi hikbid. He wasn't makbid. Now I'm a little bit bothered by, Light wasn't makbid, he had a cheshbon. Light wasn't makbid. Rashi explains later because he didn't want them to get killed by Sadaim. So it's funny, Rashi, the first Rashi says light wasn't makbid. The second Rashi said light had a whole cheshbon. He said, listen, if they catch me, if they see your feet washed, they're going to think, so sleep first, keep dirty. So light had a cheshbon not to be makbid.
Rashi seems in the second with light. It seems like it's nothing. He's not saying anything about Putin. It seems like they're gonna make fun of me. Rashi's like dying.
Yalilu means a taina. Alila is sartaina. If you wash right away, they're going to have tainas that I hosted you for 2 or 3 days and you didn't tell us. You broke state rules. So please sleep first. Mutav, stay with the avak ragleim. It should look like you came just now. So stay as long as you can with the dirt. Now when he says rach tu raglechem, then you'll wash. I wonder what light, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Rashi says light wasn't makbid, but he did say wash. So I have a theory. Tell me if you guys agree. I have a theory. The first Rashi says light wasn't makbid. The second Rashi said light just wanted them to delay, but he said wash, so he was makbid. So I want to say a theory. So you could say it means light wasn't makbid. Come into my house, but you could do it later. I have a theory, Aviad, that light didn't mean, and this somebody really, Shlomo said this. When light said wash, somebody said light was nicer. He didn't command to wash. Who said that? Chaim. What you said, Chaim, I wonder light said, please sleep before you wash. He wasn't saying wash. That's the first Rashi. Light wasn't makbid. He just meant, could you break from the noise? He wasn't saying wash. He said sleep then wash. I don't care if you wash. He wasn't saying wash. He just meant please don't wash. It wasn't, yes, it was a no. Light said sleep then wash. He wasn't saying wash. He was saying, please don't wash before you sleep. So light didn't mean please sleep, then please wash. And Rashi says light wasn't makbid. I think light said sleep, then wash means please don't wash before you go to sleep. And he had a good chesh, but he wasn't saying to wash at all. So now I like it a geshmak. You don't tell guests to wash. So Avram Avinu says wash. What's pshat? Avram Avinu was makbid on he was a Vayeira in his house. Light never said to wash. When he said sleep then wash, didn't mean wash. He wasn't saying take a shower. Don't tell guests to take a shower. He was saying sleep then wash. Means can you please not wash before you sleep? The sleep then wash was a request not to yes wash, to not wash at night. I don't care your hygiene, your personal hygiene. Say hygiene or hygiene? Hygiene, right? Word of the day? Hygiene. Hygiene. I don't care about your hygiene. I'm saying it wrong. Say the word.
Hygiene.
I don't care about your hygiene. Hygiene.
That sounds weird.
Eugene's like a person, like a hygiene.
Eugene's hygiene.
Hygiene.
Hygiene. Eugene's hygiene.
What?
It's the nurse's name, like hygiene.
So
It's like good.
I wonder a new pshat. That light when he said sleep and wash your feet was not saying wash in the morning. Daniel, I wonder that light wasn't saying wash in the morning. He was saying, could you please not wash before you go to sleep? The sleep then wash was just a way of saying, can you not wash now? Sleep and then, if you want. I wonder pshat and light. Now, how do you know that? Because his point was, the norm, that's what Rashi said. Is it normal to go to sleep before you wash? He was just saying, please don't wash tonight. If you want, wash tomorrow. I can't tell you not to shower for days. So I wonder, moyo pshat, so the light wasn't makbid at all. It answers 2 kashas to me. It answers, I asked the kasha, you're not supposed to tell people to wash. The light says wash. So I wanted a tiny light said wash the same reason Avram, because he didn't want to buy the Zara. He just wasn't makbid right away. But Rashi at the beginning says light wasn't makbid. So you could, either pshat is light wasn't makbid right away, but he wants you to eventually wash. He just wasn't makbid. You don't come without a Vayeira. Lights eventually get to it. Now the bothering with that is because light had a cheshbon. He had a cheshbon because he didn't want.
Then what's the point in washing it all? Like
it delays. I don't want to buy the Zara, but at least pekuach nefesh, if you don't mind delaying a little bit. But a little bit bothers me. Rashi says he's loy hikbid. He's not makbid. I'm wondering pshat that works beautifully. You don't say to guests wash. Avram Avinu says wash. Rashi brings pshat. He didn't want to buy the Zara. Light said wash is not a kasha. He didn't say wash. Light just meant sleep, then wash. Please don't wash. He wasn't saying to wash. He was saying what not to do, not what yes to do. So pshat, so light wasn't makbid at all. That I don't care at all.
Was he hosting the Shema? Or was it like, oh, don't say not to host, so I'm going to host? Or is the
Let's
Shema?
assume l'shem shemayim. Let's assume. But it comes out, that's what I want to tie in the pshat. Neither one said to wash, maybe.
Well, why can't you, I mean, you're saying now that like that it wasn't makbid at all.
Yeah,
Like, don't-
'cause Rashi
so why
said he
not
wasn't
wash in the
makbid.
morning, then it's already delayed.
He wasn't makbid. I think Light just said, it's funny, I don't know why Light didn't ask them, please don't wash at all, by the way, because I can get killed. But somehow he said...
It doesn't seem like
not
he's
to
saying.
wash.
The Rashi's saying for 3 days, 3 days that,
He says if you wash, they're going to say you've been here for a while already.
and then
You've hosted. You can't claim they just came if you washed.
He tells them not to wash at all.
So he
that's
says,
not
please
a-
don't wash.
Right, that's also not normal.
no,
So he says, stay here with dirt. It should be nearer like you just came. But and so when he says and then wash, according to me, he wasn't saying to wash. He said, can you wait for the morning to wash? He didn't say to wash. Then it's not a breach in derech eretz. It's not a breach. I'm claiming that neither Avram, and it answers two kashas to me. It answers the kasha that Rashi says light wasn't makbid, and you see he was makbid. So I had to say Rashi just means he wasn't makbid right when they came. Rashi first says he wasn't makbid. Kasha 1. Kasha 2 I'm answering is that how did Rashi know that Avram was makbid? He just said the norm, wash then eat. That's the norm, wash then sleep. So I'm tining to ever say wash is bizarre. You don't tell guests to wash. So that's the teretz is he was makbid. So how did Light say wash? So either you say he was makbid also, so why did Rashi say Light wasn't makbid? So you either say that Light wasn't makbid upon entering, but at some point get off the Avodah Zarah. It's one pshat. Pshat 2 is Light never was saying to wash. When he said sleep then wash, he was just asking, please don't wash before you sleep. That's all Light meant.
But whichever point they do get off the Vayeira, at that point, he's not bugging out about like, and if he's really telling them just wait as long as possible and maybe don't even do it until you're about to leave, then it's terrible. He's not even welcoming them.
No, so either he said, please don't do it right away, it's good for both of our lives, so please don't do it right away, and he wasn't saying when to do it, he was saying if you do it, don't do it before you sleep. So even though he said sleep then wash, it wasn't what yes to do, it was what was not to do. Please don't wash before you sleep. That's all I'm asking.
After he sleeps.
You're right. Okay, but I guess maybe he felt once they slept the night, they'll either know or they won't, like they caught me. But at least the first night, let's be safe. So the question, if he really meant wash after you sleep and he said it, then you have a kash. I thought that's not derech eretz, and I would answer that he was also makbid al stavay Zara. He just was delaying. But Rashi said earlier, light's not makbid. So I'm making a claim light wasn't makbid. Now I want to say something to the chevra. I don't like agendas. Like the Torah is not to say you're Musar. I like learning. I think in Pshat, we just learned Kishmak. I don't remember if I said this before, if I thought of this before. I think we just learned two Rashi's very good Pshat. I wonder that Light never said wash. I like that Pshat a lot, and Light doesn't care if they wash. But he said wash. He just meant sleep then wash. He didn't mean wash. He said please don't wash before. It's another way of saying please don't wash before you sleep. Sleep then wash. And it's not. He's not saying wash. He doesn't care. It's not none of his business. Sleep then wash means I know people like washing, and I don't give a flip if you wash. And I used to ask you to please not wash before you sleep. That you're allowed. You're allowed to say to your guests, please don't wash.
Why?
But you can't say wash because it means you're dirty. You can say please don't wash.
So you tell me not to wash now?
Yeah.
What if I want to wash though?
I have a reason you shouldn't wash. We'll both get killed. But it's not mean. It's not mean to your guests say don't wash.
He didn't say don't wash.
According to me, that's what he's saying. Sleep then wash just means don't do the norm of wash before you sleep. That's what it means. Sleep then wash. Please
So why
sleep
not
first
explain
before
all-
washing.
so why
He's
not
not
ex-
saying to wash. He's saying not to wash before they sleep.
Oh.
So he never said, even though he said sleep then wash, he said sleep before washing. I don't care if
Is
you
that a
wash.
normal expression?
I think that's what Rashi says he was doing. I think it's so cool. Light never said to wash. So that's Rashi. The first Rashi, light's not makbid on washing, and it answered derech eretz. I happen to love. I like derech eretz a lot. I like when people are refined. I think it's beautiful not to say wash. I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful. There's something deep and beautiful about that. Big people have like a certain dignity, and their words are precise. It's big people's words are very exact. They're just the way they are. There's something beautiful about a person that wouldn't say come wash. It's like a certain course. I don't like coarse. I could say this. I've seen people speak coarsely. There are times that I think I'd rather my kids. I've seen people say certain words, certain coarse type of speech. I literally would be less upset at my kids if they did not Vayeira than they spoke coarsely. I think speaking coarse brings tons of Aveiras. Derech Eretz kadma l'Torah. Speaking, don't speak coarse. I've seen people speak impress the coarse, inappropriate ways. I think that brings many Aveiras, a very not dignified thing. Dignity is very important. Human beings in a Shama is a big dignity. I think it's beautiful not to say to guests, let's wash. There's a beauty to that. And I have a raya that Rashi, when Avram says wash, Rashi says, you don't want to avoid Zara. Maybe you're just doing the norm. And Rashi later says that's the norm. The raya is Rashi's saying you don't say to somebody wash. So why did Avram do? Because avoid Zara, you have no choice. It's okay, it's avoid Zara. He says he's not being avoid Zara. Light says wash. Light's a Talmud of Avram Avinu. Light says wash. According to me, I don't think Light ever said wash. And Rashi said that Light wasn't makbid. So what did you like me wash? He said sleep then wash. He wasn't saying to wash. He was saying please don't wash before you sleep. That's fine. You're allowed to say not to wash. And that he had a reason. Rashi says his reason. Now I admit the lashon of Light is sleep then wash. But according to me, what he's saying, me and Chaim agreed. Light never cared. Light said Chaim said Light was nice than Avram, quote unquote. Light never was saying wash. Sleep then wash. He wasn't saying sleep then I mocked with wash. He was saying please don't wash before you sleep. That's what he was saying. Which is how Rashi learns. Now I want to say when I love learning a sugya. First, it's not an agenda here. I want to learn the Rashi, Chumash Rashi. Now I want to step back into two things. First of all, if we're right, I love the derech eretz not to say wash to somebody. I think that's cool. I think that's something beautiful.
Why did Light say wash?
Huh?
Why did Light say wash?
He's saying
sleep.
So he just meant he's saying, but that was the way he wanted to speak it out. Because if you say sleep means wash then sleep, because that's the norm. So he said, please, could you wash in the morning? He's not saying to wash in the morning. He doesn't care if they wash. He's saying, please wash in the morning, not before. His point was not before. He wasn't saying to her. Shalom, you hear what I'm saying? It answers many kashas. We answered 2 gishmaka kashas now. So if I'm right, you have a new derech eretz not to say wash to somebody, which I think is very refined. Gishmak. You think you're being all from. You say, come, let's wash the tiyasadak. Excuse me. Right.
That's already.
The second thing I want to say to the guys that for sure, this you don't need my shtickle Torah. The derech eretz, that's if I'm right. The second thing I want to say is that there's always a chesed that there's a kindness that's like there's a person should flow kindness. There's the type of kindness that loses boundaries. Kindness is shefa, is flowing. Person just, oh, please, everything goes, no problem. A person should always maintain. Avram Avinu's kindness was flowing, but he said, excuse me, please wash before you come. I like that a person could have balance. I've spoken about this many times. Big people are very balanced. They're not just flowing one way. In midst of Avram Avinu's incredible kindness, Avram Avinu, excuse me, you can't come in with Avodah Zarah. There's a certain backbone. A guy in yeshiva had a maisa. Parents called me up that the family's involved in Kiruv, and there were kids at a yontiv meal were using their phone in the middle, and the parents didn't know what to do. And their son came to the sukkah and saw it. They would be Makarev Tina, but it was ruining the whole vibe. They're on their phone in the middle of a yontiv suda. So their son came in, and he said in the nicest way to the guests, he said, oh, I'm so happy you're here. My family, we love having you. If I could ask if everybody please puts away their phone, it's a holiday meal. Now this kid has struggles with Shabbos and Yontiv, by the way. He struggles with Shabbos and Yontiv. He's just saying it's like a certain derech eretz. You're at a Yontiv Suda, and he said it nicely, and everybody put it away. The parents were the shtoimim. They were worried to say it, and he came in and he said it, and he said he learned it in yeshiva. He said he sees kindness here, but there's backbone. He said he learned it in yeshiva. Right, with Snicky is the nicest person where Snicky was dating, not his wife. It's nice, the right one. But he was dating, somebody called me and said he's too soft or something. So I said, tell your daughter to speak Lashon Hara next day and tell me he's soft. He has a backbone. He's not. He's flowing nice. He has a backbone, and I like that. I like that. It bothers me when people. I like with our own kids. And by the way, it's not. It actually makes the Chesed more beautiful, to me, because it's like a decision of Chesed. Avram's Chesed is not just like he shut off his brain and everything goes. He's the nicest. He's running. He's giving. Excuse me. Nobody desire in my house. There's like a balance. There's like a thought. Then there's Shefa. He's flowing. Chesed's flowing and giving. But there's like there's a whole person who's capable of other energies at the same time as Chesed. And it's interesting to me that Light, who's the student of Avram, has the Chesed of Avram, but that balance. I don't want to make too much. I don't want to I just want to study Chazal. Chazal describe Light as the Chesed of Avram. He's mamish hosting. Pekuach nefesh, it's time to host, they kill you. But I want to say that with all of Light's Chesed, he doesn't have that he didn't pick up Avram's balance. They had Avodah Zarah and Light's lahik, but he's not makbid. And Avram had this balance, tremendous Chesed, but there's still there's other thoughts and cheshbonis. There's a person present to something. Big people are capable of having there's just different things going on inside, and amidst tremendous chesed, there's a sense of din, a sense of order, a sense of rules. There's a boundary to it. There's something beautiful about such type of chesed. Thank you. Thank you, Nachum. I have a brother-in-law who's a very big person. I have a brother-in-law who's a big guy, and when he was engaged to my sister, he's a grandfather many times over. When he was engaged to my sister, they were going shopping, my brother-in-law and my sister. They were Chasna and Kala, and I was coming along. Now, my brother-in-law were his brothers. He doesn't have his own siblings. Doesn't have full siblings. And me and my brothers, like his brothers, he was very excited to be in the family, and we were going shopping together. At the store, there was a white suit, and I wanted to try on the white suit early, so I put on the white jacket. And my brother-in-law, in complete tamima, said, "You thinking about buying that?" I said, "No." He said, "It's Geneva to do it. Take it off." And at first, I was like, killjoy, we're having fun here. And I want to say that after I thought back, I'm so moved. Everything, he was trying to be the fun new brother-in-law. And it was geschmack. I was a youngster, and he's like the older brother. But I was so impressed. There's still halacha. There's a certain balance, and he's the nicest. Wants to have fun. We can wear all the white things. Look, if you're stealing, it's geneva. And he felt in a store, you're not considering buying, and it's a good shiloh. You could ask the shiloh. Some people say they still, even if you're doing it for fun, it probably depends on the store. They still want you to try on stuff. It's good for them. Yesh ladim. But the typical, he felt that you're in a store and you're not planning on buying, so you can't try on something. That's what he felt. It's a good shiloh. But I was very impressed that in the middle of chesed and kindness, there's a sense, there's still rules. I like this. I have seen dorm counselors. I want guys here to be counselors in the summer. I appreciate the dorm counselors, the nicest, flowing kindness. And excuse me. There's a boundary to anybody who understands. It's so much deeper to the kindness. It's like cheshbon. It's thought out. It's not. There's a certain balance and thought. I'm not into that where kids acting. Please stop. Are you just being nice? There's a cheshbon, there's a thought, there's all different things going on. Avram Avinu's kindness is lahafli. You came to his house, he was crazy over the guests. He gave to them b'shefa, was flying around. And then the feet were dirty. Avodah Zarah. He said, "Excuse me, you're going to wash up before you come in here." It's a beautiful boundary, a beautiful other things could be flowing b'shas the chesed. That's great people who are capable of different thoughts and to be very present to their chesed. That's Avram Avinu. Light is completely flowing, and he loses everything else. He loses a sense of his rules, his order. He loses din, he loses gvura, he loses other midas. That's
even offering when they come to his house and his daughters.
Yeah. You see other things with Light. He offered his daughters bad averos. there's a certain thing of chesed, and people get into it, and they lose. Chesed is just flow and just give and just go, but there are other boundaries and thoughts. Light, that's the sense that I'm getting. That's what I'm trying
He
to.
didn't care if he had no backbone. I mean, is it? Because earlier we were saying he's not makbid on avodah zarah, that maybe he doesn't care that much about Zarah. So now is Rabbi saying he does care, but he had no backbone to have balance.
I don't want to say back. I think there's a certain energy that people lose sense of the full self. Avram Avinu has a full picture. There's chesed, but there are other midas at work. I don't know. I don't have it exact. It's funny. Like I'm trying to. I like picturing real. So what am I seeing? When have I seen this? A chesed. It's fun. It's interesting. In America, there's something called liberalism, and I'm not like trying to be. Was Avram a liberal? I always wonder. Avram Avinu was the ultimate bal chesed to all and to everybody. But the sense that there are boundaries and there are rules, there's rules, and he doesn't lose sight of that. Chesed is extreme, Chesed's flowing, but there's a rule to it. I like that the rules are there and enforced. I like that. I love that the Bacher and Yeshiva learned from here a place of Chesed, but he came home and he felt like it wasn't respectful, and he was like totally nice. But he said, "Excuse me, I think the parents were nishtaimim. They couldn't believe it." And he did it in a very comfortable way, and not, he just said, "I'm so happy you're here, and it's beautiful. If we could ask, please remove the phones." Like, I thought that was like very Avrahamish, if you will. I thought that was very reminiscent of Avraham. There's a lot more I want to learn in Parshas Vayeira, but I want to be here with the Chaver for Parshas Vayeira. So that's what Nachum reminded. I got to go home and come back. Shabbos is very. Whoa. Yeah. So it's really 4:12 candlelighting. 4:30 is brick wall. So let's get ready. Interesting. Learn something.